Hello and welcome to a new video. Today we're gonna take a look at the best lead, the best save-up and the best closer for the Evolution Cup together on one team. And we're going to have here the Shadow Golbat, we're going to have the Vigoroth, and we're going to have the Piloswine. So let's see what we can do with this team and let's see if this is actually a good team to play. We want to start off with a matchup against a Shadow Dragonair. This is going to be a little bit of a trickier one, but honestly, I really enjoy the Golbat in the lead. I said that before already, but let's take a look at this. We can just go ahead and go for a Poison Fang, get the shield and swap out into our Vigoroth. The thing here as well, our Piloswine is running a high horsepower. If you take a look at PvPoke, it suggests Stone Edge. Stone Edge can help in certain matchups, for example, against something like a Charger Bug, you can go for it. I just like the more neutral play of high horsepower a little bit more. It's not a huge difference, usually you're just gonna go for Avalanche anyway, so yeah, it just really depends on what you want to have. Weeping Bell, gonna go down here already against our Golbat. I was expecting a double Grass Hole line there, maybe like something like a Gloom in the back, but let's see what's actually going to be. It's going to be an Arctiback, so it's an ABA style Dragon line, which is totally okay for us because we have still our Piloswine. And Piloswine is going to be able to go for one Avalanche and just going to knock them out. Like honestly, the opponent has nowhere to go anymore, the opponent has nothing to do here. We're gonna be easily able to win this first game, and honestly, Piloswine is so amazing in this meta. This Pokemon is just so strong right now. It is honestly wild that I don't really see it that often. Actually, I see it quite a bit though. Like I feel like it kind of gets more and more popularity now. But here we were actually able to catch a Shadow Ball from a Golbat, get wrecked their trainer. We're gonna be able to go for some body slams. You have like the same lead, the same saves up basically here against the opponent. And this is amazing because what this allows us to get rid basically of the first answer of a Piloswine. So if they have another fighter in the back, it might be a little bit tricky. But actually we can realign even. That's going to be even better for me because I can go for a Rock Slide, get the shield back most likely, or just get the knockout, which I definitely take as well. And they're going to actually have the Piloswine in the back. We have the same team here. I don't think that they went to PvPoke and just went, I'm just going to take the best lead, the best saves up, and the best closer. But let's see if we can still actually win here because this game is not over yet. We're gonna be able to spam those Poison Fangs, which is kinda funny because they're gonna get a double debuff onto their defense. They actually have the Shadow variant of Piloswine though. I don't have one, so here we're gonna try to go for the full Farmland against them. Hopefully it's going to work out. It definitely does, and we're gonna be able to win this one. Definitely catching the Shadow Ball helped me quite a bit in this matchup. Also realigning was really nice for me. Speaking of catching a Shadow Ball, maybe the opponent's gonna go for a Shadow Ball here. Let's find out. We're gonna use a shield. We're actually not gonna use a shield. They're gonna go for the Poison Fang and we were able to call it. Going now for my own Shadow Ball is going to be kinda great as I can now get a shield advantage and swap out into our Vigoroth. They can go for the charge move if they want to. Should have most likely went straight for the Rock Side though. I kinda chickened out there and thought that maybe they wanted to swap out, but now we can go for the charge move and the opponent is still staying in here, allowing us to hit that Rock Side and allowing us to also knock them out, and they swap out into the Primeape. Not too sure why they didn't go into their Primeape earlier, but I will take this one as I can get a Body Slam off and gonna be able to realign. We have our Golbat now as well. And here's the cool thing again with Golbat in the lead. If you're just going to be able to win one matchup there, you're gonna be able to just go for the Poison Fang and weaken whatever wants to come in next. And with this, we're gonna be able to just hit this Poison Fang here. We can just try to go ahead and go for another one, but the opponent is trying to go for their own charge move. I just need to get them low enough that I can Powder Snow them down. Let's see if this is going to work out well for me here. In comes another Poison Fang. They're going to have to shield this move up, and I can swap out now because I wanted to keep my Golbat for later on for the fighting type of the what's called Primeape in the back. But let's see, we don't even need this because we have our move stored and the opponent decides to forfeit anyway. We're gonna get a great lead here for the fourth match of today, as you're gonna see the swap out immediately into the Vigoroth. And here's the amazing thing about this lead as well, and if they want to swap out into their own Vigoroth, we can just swap into our own after one charge move, and we can guarantee realignment. Like, it doesn't matter, like they cannot do anything, because you're gonna be able to get this damage on earlier. If they want to use a shield here, we can use a shield afterwards. It does not matter. They use a shield, I use a shield, I can realign. I still have my nearly full health variant there of the Golbat. I can have switch advantage. I have energy on my Vigoroth. We are in such a good position like this. It is just amazing. Honestly, like this is mostly one of the most consistent teams that you can run as well right now. Here we can go ahead and go for a charge move. The Rock Slide is coming through, going to connect and do a ton of damage. And we have basically 3 Pokemon that can deal with the Togetic. And so Aerial Ace is coming through. We can swap into our own Piloswine. They're swapping into their own Dragonair. But I'm now one fast move basically ahead of the opponent, as well as I'm going to basically get to the my charge moves at the same pace as they do, so I don't have to swap out. I know I should be able to get to my next avalanche before the opponent gets to their next charge move, and so I can knock them out. And like, what do they want to do next? Like, I don't know, because we can just going to like we completely destroy the opponent here. Like, there's nothing that the opponent can do here anymore. They can still go for a charge move. Maybe if they're gonna get the boost or whatever, they go for an aerial ace. Aerial ace does not boost, and so we can easily win this game. Golbat was Golbat. I actually would just go up to 7 and then swap out, but the opponent swaps out, and so we can go into our Vigoroth against the Arctibex. I'm just gonna go straight for the body slam stuff, the Rock Slide. Maybe a mistake. I am not too sure. I could have let this move go through here if I knew it was an icy wind, but of course Avalanche would have done a ton more damage, so I decided to go for the safe play. We are now 1 shield down, but we have a realignment, and we're also going to have a Rock Slides against the opponent's Golbat, which is going to be nice. And now we're also going to be able to align our own Piloswine against the opponent's Golbat, as they're still going to be forced to go for a charge move, which should not knock me out from this range, I think. So we can still, oh never mind, we don't get to another charge move, but they have a Graveler in the back, and this is exactly what I don't want to face anymore. A normal Shadow Graveler with the fast move of a Rock Throw is going to chunk way more than I expected. It is mad how much damage this Pokemon is doing against us. Rock Blast coming through, they're gonna get there fairly fast as well. We're gonna try to get some shields from the opponent, but it's not looking too good. We kinda have to hope now that Golbat can do something, and I overfarm one fast move too much. I had to overfarm by a little bit because the opponent still had their own one, but it's just a little bit too much, sadly. I'm not going to be able to reach another charge move. They have their own charge move stored now, and so they're going to be able to win this game. Good game there. Maybe was winnable if I played a little bit better, but who knows. Next opponent. We're going to have a very neutral lead here of Vigoroth against Golbat. Counter double resisted, but also, of course, a Rock Slide going to chunk quite a bit against us here because we are a flying type, but they go actually for the Body Slam, which I will take, so it kind of leaves us at the exact same health here as the opponent is staying in as well. I win CMP, which is kind of nice, and they swap out into their own Golbat. I am okay with that. I can swap into my Piloswine. Piloswine now gonna do a ton of damage with its fast move. I can go for the Avalanche. I should have went for the Avalanche maybe a little bit earlier. Here this is still kind of fine for me though, as they're gonna go for a shield even. And so the opponent can go for the charge move. If it's a Shadow Ball, it's still not going to knock me out. We have kind of decent bulk on the Piloswine. I wouldn't say that this Pokemon is bulky, but it's definitely not squishy either. So here we're gonna get the knockout while having shield advantage, while having switch advantage, allowing us to be in a great spot here as the opponent gets some energy, which can be a little bit tricky. But we can still use at least 1 shield here, maybe even 2, and just try to get those Poison Fangs off against whatever they have in the bag, because I feel like having Poison Fang here is a little bit more viable than having the shield. So let's see, it's going to be actually this wireless in the bag, and so Poison Fang was the right choice to prioritize, as now counter is just chunking away of the opponent's health. This is amazing. They can only go for a Body Slam, and so we can easily win this game as we can counter down everything. Coming up, we're going to have a Togetic in the lead again. Great lead for us. We're going to stay in here. We see what's coming in. It's going to be the Vigoroth, and we're just going to go ahead, go for the Poison Fang, and swap out immediately into our own Vigoroth. This allows us again, as I said before, to just try to realign. And this kind of how you want to play it. You can even, if you have like something like my Vigoroth IV spread, you can actually win CMP type pretty easily in a lot of matchups. And here we were able to get a shield advantage as well, which you're most likely going to lose fairly soon as they're going to get to another Body Slam before I KO them here, but it's going to be okay. We can use a shield here, it's totally fine. Let's see what's coming in next. It's going to be the Togetic, and they're running the legacy move of Steel Wing, which is definitely a smart choice to go for. This was not a smart choice to go for. Should have went for the Rock Slide. Doesn't matter, the opponent uses a shield for whatever reason, but I don't get to another Body Slam anyway. And so I can let this move go through because I feel like shield advantage on Piloswine sounds kind of nice, and so I'm gonna try to go for exactly this, as that's going to be the CMP tie here. I can go ahead and get a ton of damage onto them, but I know already I beat this Pokemon with my Piloswine, so whatever's in the back most likely going to be weak against me as well. Let's see what it is going to be. It's going to be a Charger Bucket. Goodbye there. Moving on, we're going to have here the Vigoroth in the lead. Again, this is going to be more of a neutral one. You kind of want to play this one out, stay in for a little bit, go for the Poison Fangs as soon as you're going to get them, and you should be kind of fine. I think this is a matchup that you're always going to be able to win in the 2-shield scenario. I don't think they have a chance in that kind of scenario because he's just chunking away off their health. Here they're swapping out into the Golbat, allowing us to align our Piloswine. They will be able to get to their own Shadow Ball in time, but it is not really a problem as we can reach for our next Avalanche. This most likely gonna get shielded, but what can I really do here anyway? Never mind, they're going to let this move go through. And with this, we can actually still reach another Avalanche against the opponent's Vigoroth, which is quite nice, I have to say. As this gonna get the shield, we can swap into our own Vigoroth, which is going to be able to take those moves a little bit easier than our Golbat with the potential of a Rock Slide. But we can try to catch a move here. Is this going to be the Body Slam? Hopefully it is. It is going to be the Body Slam, and now we have to see what's going to be in the back. It's going to be the Charger Bug, and I make a mistake here by going for this Shadow Ball. Yes, that's gonna get the opponent very low, but I might have been able to get to another Poison Fang even. I'm not too sure about it. But also, like, I feel like Poison Fang would have been like so much smarter here for the late game matchup, because I need to go for two body slam anyway. And it's going to be a little bit of a trickier one now. My only choice basically was to try to go for double Poison Fang there to win this game. I'm not going to be able to do this, and we can move on to the next one. Next opponent coming through, Golbat versus Golbat. How do we play this one? Let's find out together. Can we go for this swap onto the Shadow Ball? We will find out very soon. Was this one successful? Yes, it was successful, and so the opponent basically get no damage from that energy, which is amazing, as we still have our energy stored. We still survive a Body Slam here as well. They have actually a very attack rated Vigoroth than if they win CMP against my one, because mine is already very attack rated, and so they are definitely going to be in range for just one Poison Fang. I can overfarm by one and go for the Poison Fang to basically guarantee a knockout here, which is going to be amazing, especially as I'm going to have an energy lead at least compared to the opponent's Golbat. Let's see who's coming in next. It's going to be their Golbat. I'm gonna mostly go for the Shadow Ball actually. Maybe Show went for the bait. Let's see what the opponent is gonna do here. They're going to use a shield. I can swap out, and they're gonna go for their own charge move, which I am going to shield up as well. Shadow Ball again, and they're going to have a Hakomo in the back. I have to say, this should be a goodbye. There's nothing that they can do anymore. Avalanche gonna connect, knock them out, and in comes the Golbat, and they decide to forfeit. Next opponent, that's going to be more of a trickier one. We're going to have the Piloswine. I want to swap out immediately, but the game didn't let me, so that's great. We're gonna get immediately kind of hard-walled, and here I have to say, maybe it would have been better to swap into your Piloswine instead of your Vigoroth immediately, because basically, if they have a Piloswine or like some kind of normal type in the lead, or like something that is weak to fighting types in the lead, they're definitely going to have a counter for Vigoroth, for Primeape in the back. And here the opponent is running the Feint Attack variant of Dusclops, which does make a lot of sense. But yeah, it is still a little bit of a trickier matchup here to come back from. I could use a shield and try to realign, but I don't think it's really worth it, so I'll let this move go through, and I can just farm them down with my Piloswine, and I just have to hope at this point that Piloswine is gonna be able to win this game, but let's see if this is going to actually work. The opponent swaps into their own one, and they actually got enough energy that they can outspeed me here, which is really, really bad. Because I was really hoping that this was not the case, and I would just be able to outspeed them all the time, and I would still have my Golbat in the back, and I would have had a great choice, but because they're always like one fast move ahead of me, this is going to be tough. Also because I have a really good rank one here for our Piloswine, it's going to be even tougher. I can still reach another charge move here, but basically my only play here is to hope that they use a shield. Maybe there's still a chance here, as they're gonna swap out into the Togetic. I actually go for the Shadow Ball because it's going to do more damage in total here, going to connect and gonna put them really, really low, which is kind of nice for me. In comes the Ancient Power, and they undercharge it, which is kind of smart, because they can still knock me out, but we still have a chance here. We cannot farm them down. I think I still survive a move. So now it comes down who wins the CMP tie, my Piloswine or the opponent's Piloswine. We have the high horsepower, and we lose. Literally, CMP tie loss there. That's kind of why I don't actually like those kind of IVs, because they are a little bit too good, I guess, for my mean. But let's move on to the final battle for today. Horrific lead. What do we do here? We're gonna go for one fast move and then swap out, actually. I kind of figured that it's a little bit better to have like the extra energy on your Golbat, especially for later on, especially also to hit maybe a Poison Fang or the Shadow Ball against the Charger Bug, which maybe comes in clutch here, I'm not too sure anymore. But let's take a look at the opponent here. They're gonna go into their Primeape, allowing us to reach another charge move. Body Slam coming through, going to get the shield from the opponent. We can swap into our Golbat. Golbat is going to have to use a shield eventually. Yeah, we're gonna use the shield against the Ice Punch. They cannot get to another move, which is amazing. And we have to swap out immediately, of course, because we know Charger Bug is coming in. So we have to swap, and in comes nothing so far. They're gonna go for a charge move. So are they weak against me in the back? That's the question now. We will find out fairly shortly, I was imagine. But yeah, they're going to have a Togetic in the back. And this can be really good for me. They're going to decide to let this move go through. They don't have the Steel Ring as a fast move as well, which is going to be really good because it would have been super effective. And with this, we can still survive this. But this game is, again, not over yet. But Piloswine is just so busted. Like, this Pokemon literally perfectly survived this one, can go for a charge move, and with this is going to be game. I hope you enjoyed this one. If you did, feel free to leave a like, and definitely a team that I would recommend you to try out as well. Amazing team to play. See you then. Bye bye.